there is a one more hero which got upgraded recently, and it's another G1 hero, which is the basic hero. And I think basic heroes are important because every single player, pay-to-play or free-to-play player, can get those heroes, right? We spoke about upgraded Nico, and if you want to check it out, it's a latest video. Today we are speaking about Garwood, which had a huge change in my opinion, and it actually changed a lot of things about Garwood, right? And what kind of hero pairs are viable for this hero. First of all, let's speak about the changes which got hit by the Garwood. Infantry garrison tank yet again, but we don't see garrison skill on the Garwood, right? Instead of garrison skill, we got HP bonus on the last level, it's 10%. Generally, I really like HP bonuses. It's not a surprise because I have spoke about it a lot of times. But still, I think 10% is not much. But still, the thing that right now Garwood has basically all the skills viable in the open field. That gives a big boost to this infantry hero, right? And of course, if we're gonna speak about main idea about Garwood, is that it's a healing tank in the open field. Of course, I know healing in garrison is bad, but in my opinion, in open field, healing is one of the best things which you can get. Like for example, we have Magrat with the healing and Kuma also with the healing, and they are one of the best OP heroes in the game, right? So Garwood will give you some defensive stability, some defense reduction, and a lot of heals, right? Which will help you to stay alive longer in the battlefield. Of course, as with Nico, I will share my ideas for the early game. I think still nothing have actually changed for the early game gameplay. And if you want to build Garwood, number one hero pair for the early game Garwood would be still Garwood with Madeline, right? Of course, Madeline also got changed, its overall hero, but I think there is not a better choice in terms of like tank, super good tank. If you are just starting the game, you can get Garwood unlocked from the gold keys, and you can get Madeline from the lucky spins, right? And because of the Madeline having 50k more legions and some defensive skills such as like shields and stuff, it will help Garwood to be more tanky, because legion capacity and heals actually makes your hero pair really tanky, right? And that's the idea. Unfortunately, like if you will look at the Nikas, if you will look at this Skogul and Georrge, honestly, you don't want to break Georrge and Skogul, and Nika is just purely offensive hero, but just infantry. That's why I don't see Nika working with Garwood, and that's why I think for the early game, Garwood and Madeline is really good choice. You will be tanky, and you will basically tank anything until you will get Georrge and Skogul, right? And of course, since we are speaking about the Garwood, and we spoke that Garwood should be primary with the Garwood and Madeline. I believe Garwood's talent tree should be centered around tanking and some heals, right? Here for the first choice, I went for impeccable defense. Your legion gains shelter entering battle, increasing their defense by 5% for 10 seconds. Of course, well, this Undying Spirit can be nice, but I kinda got too used to the impeccable defense, and that's why I'm just keep using it. And here we have Vitality and we have Hearts of Iron. I believe since the Garwood's gameplay is centered around healing, more healing won't gonna be a bad option. And of course, since I'm not using Garwood as a garrison, I went for the cool-headed. When we are casting rage skill, we are getting defense, right? And of course, Garwood have to cast the rage skill. That's how we are actually getting the heals on the hero, right? But as always, just don't copy paste it. Try to understand, read it, what kind of benefits this every single talent tree is giving you, because whenever you are fighting, it will help you that you know that all right, I have more heals, I should not go like aggressive. For example, if I hadn't have impeccable defense, I would not be that confident in terms of my defensive stats because, for example, I'm still tier 4, right? But so far, these talent tree have been working for me. If we have a different option which works for you, it's great. Like, main idea is to be comfortable with your heroes and with the talent trees, right? That's the talent tree if you are looking for Garwood primary talent trees throughout the whole gameplay, basically, right? And of course, for the Garwood and Madeline, we have a couple of options as a artifacts, and for sure, I will say that we have a lot of options, right? First of all, let's mention for infantry, I prefer defensive artifacts rather than offensive ones. So, free-to-play friendly artifacts such as Fang of Ashkari is amazing. And the new artifact which got added for the normal openings, Tasteless Wine. Basically, I believe this is the exclusive artifact for the Garwood. So this is what makes Garwood even stronger, right? Amazing stats for the defensive infantry hero pair and heroes such as Garwood, right? And I believe this is another reason why Garwood is getting more and more popular, right? Because Tasteless Wine is the artifact which I believe is exclusively great. Like, for example, let's say additional effect, right? When a legion receives healing, that's all we need to hear. This is Garwood's artifact. Hero skill, artifact skill cooldown is reduced by 4 seconds for every 600 points of healing factor. And yeah, we are basically healing 1.2k from our first skill, right? And yeah, basically, like, in terms of skill of the Tasteless Wine, it's amazing. We are basically immobilizing 3 enemies in the designated circle for 5 seconds. That's huge, right? So if you are looking forward for the best artifact for the Garwood as a primary hero, doesn't really matter where you're gonna put him, I think Tasteless Wine is the primary choice, right? If you was not able to get Tasteless Wine, I believe Fang of Ashkari can be totally fine. Let's go to all around. Yeah, Fang of Ashkari can be totally fine. Then let's not forget that even if you don't have like Georrge and Skogul, you can always use Spiritbone Torque for the Garwood also, right? Because you want to get the taunt, which is the most important, and some defensive stats, which you of course are going to get, right? So that's like the artifacts which will be viable on Garwood if you want to play him as a primary, right? Because I believe artifacts are really important, especially for infantry heroes, because if you have defensive artifacts, you can survive. If you have offensive ones, you might struggle, right? For the Warpheads, well, there is a couple of choices. If you want to deal damage from your Warphead, Venomous Lizard is a great choice. Basically, when somebody is damaging you and you are dealing damage back with the counter attack, you are applying poison. So that's why, like, Venomous Lizard with infantry build should be fine on Garwood. Also, of course, let's not forget Tribear with the Vigor, which will help us to get even more HP and even more healing. Can be absolutely fine. And of course, like, Bruin Bears such as can be also fine, right? But I would mention more of the Warpeds, which actually have healing and some defensive stats, right? That's why even Striber can be totally fine. The friendship skill is giving us enough heals to be just good on the battlefield, to have a synergy in terms of healing for our hero, right? So basically, like, Garwood and Madeline is like first early game hero pair which you can easily build if you are going to be infantryman, right? So that was always the case, but until the Garwood changed and we got changed the skill and we got new heroes as infantry heroes in the game, we finally get the new hero pair for the Garwood in terms of late game, right? And that hero pair is of course Garwood and Kuma, right? I mentioned G4 infantry hero, which is basically built around healing, right? And you might say, how? Healing factor, draining surrounding legions HP, which is basically healing, base healing factor yet again, defense attack, healing received bonus. So basically Kuma is built around healing. What other infantry hero we have which is built around healing? healing factor 1.2, HP bonus. Here healing received 30%, and yeah, of course some defensive stats, right? So finally Garwood has the late game hero pair, which is Garwood and Kuma. You can easily go as a Garwood primary and we play with tank talentry, or you can go easily with Kuma and go for support PvP, right? The synergy is really simple. The amount of healing buffs we are getting here, 20%, 30% is also from here, and of course the amount of heals we are getting, that's how this infantry hero pair is going to survive in the battlefield, right? So if you have not tried it out, try it out. It's really good. You will, trust me, you will stay alive longer than some heroes which are good stats in terms of defensive stats, but they don't have healing, right? And also, of course, we can easily speak with the Garwood and Kuma, which will be the best artifact. I would not say I'm making mistake if I will say that this artifact will be the #1 choice. Serpent's Edge, of course, we have Legion unit attack, but we also have defensive stats, which is important. Legion defense, right? For the Blood Bite, for the next 15 seconds, the Legion gains 30% HP and deals damage to 3 enemy legions, also applying them a march speed debuff minus 50%. Also, what's important, the additional effect, when gaining an HP buff via hero skill, the Legion gains 1% attack and defense for 10 seconds, maximum to 5 stacks. So basically, here we are for sure getting HP buffs even from Garwood and even from the Kuma. So I believe this will be the #1 choice for the artifact for the Garwood and Kuma. That's why I believe finally on the Garwood we have late game hero pair, which will be with Kuma, which will be viable. And of course, we will speak regarding the Warped, which just came out, which I believe will be great for the Garwood and Kuma hero pair. And that's of course Mozrog Orchs, right? I'm saying that, but this is the Warped, which will be great on Garwood and Kuma. Basically more HP. Here, infantry unit HP, infantry HP bonus on maximum 10%. Yeah, that will be the Warped, which I believe can work. And if you don't have that new Warped for Garwood and Kuma, I believe the ones which we spoke, like even Venomous Lizard, even Stripe Bird, like even Sand Lizard, basically, right, will be totally fine on Garwood and Kuma, right? Of course, you can mix them out. You can put Garwood as a primary, you can use tank talentry, or you can use Kuma as a primary, and you will basically be going with the support talentry for the healing also, and PvP until the middle, right? So basically, if you want to be infantry main from the beginning, you have a good choices. You can go Garwood Madeline, and then Madeline will be paired up with something else, and Garwood can be paired up with the Kuma. As a free-to-play players, I think the transition of the basic heroes to late game hero pairs are really important. That's why when I understood that basic heroes were getting changed, such as Nico and Garwood and Madeline, of course I got lucky, I got happy, because I was expecting them to be viable with the new heroes, and slowly I believe they are, right? Like everything is indicating that Garwood and Kuma will be amazing hero pair. And of course, I have seen it on the battlefield, playing with the stronger alliances, and also my alliance members have tried it and they have been doing it pretty well, right? So yeah, finally Garwood is getting back to the meta. I believe in season 1 there was like a lot of Garwood and Madelines around the map. Of course, Georrge and Skogul and now Kuma changed the spotlight, but I believe there will be a lot of times where we're gonna see Garwoods around the field, and they will be pretty effective, right? So yeah, like that's the idea of this video, because we have done a lot of hero guides in this channel, and whenever heroes are getting changed, of course, not only the hero changes, but hero pairs also is getting changed, right? So that was the main idea of this video. Hopefully all the infantry enthusiasts and the infantry players will be interested, because finally they have some good heroes which they can build multiple marches, and they will be good enough to fight in open field, right? Because I believe if you want to be successful in Call of Dragons, you should be able to play with the multiple marches at the same time, like 3 or 4 minimum, right? So yeah, thanks for watching the video. If you liked the video, press like, subscribe, share. It always gives me more and more motivation to make more content for this game. I wish everybody amazing day, morning and night. We are going to see each other really soon. Bye bye and good luck.